presentation for the PTO at General Smallwood and was invited to come here today just to tell you that, we've done an incredible job at decreasing the amount of people that are smoking. People have quit, people are never starting, so that our use rates of cigarettes or tobacco by adults is way low. Problem is, when people are quitting or people are getting sick and dying from smoking, and that's a big moneymaker for a tobacco industry, they came up with something else. E-cigarettes have only been in the United States since 2007. They started in China in 2004 because tobacco is a huge industry. It's a huge crop in China. And with the rates going down for smoking, they needed to find a new way of, quote, making money. So the problem is our kids are using them because it's something new. And because it hit our marketplace in 2007 before any of the regulations caught up with it, that they really saturated television and radio with e-cigarettes the same way the tobacco industry got outlawed in doing 30 and 40 years ago. We haven't seen tobacco ads on television since 1972, I think. But e-cigarettes hit it, glamorized it using the same impressive strategies that the tobacco industry did. And the kids are using them because they thought it was safer and better. So e-cigarettes are nicotine addiction. There are chemicals in the e-juice that none of us would ever eat or drink. Formaldehyde, heavy metals like nickel, flavorings that entice our kids to try them because they are literally labeling things using Skittles flavored, Skittled sort of looking packaging to resemble something a kid would like. Popcorn, strawberry, cotton candy, things that would attract a child. On the back table, I did bring variety of information, but I brought one specific form that's the Snapshot for Charles County that I created out of the bigger document that came out of the state. And it's basically saying, as of 2014, 23.1% of our high school students and almost 10% of our middle schoolers have tried an e-cigarette in the last 30 days. So the problem with that is they think it's cool. They're buying these things. They're getting caught in school because it is considered a tobacco product. So they're getting in trouble for having it on their possession. They're taking moist chemicals and nicotine down into the lungs that were meant for oxygen and air. So we don't know yet what the disease prospect is going to be, but we can speculate a lot of lung infections, a lot of lower lung pneumonias will come out of vaping long term. But problem is it's our new gateway drug. Smoking used to be the gateway drug because if you took a risk and defied mom and dad's rules about not smoking or using drugs and you tried a cigarette, then you were more willing to take a risk and try something else, whether it was marijuana, a drug, or alcohol, or just do more risky things because you're getting braver. So when we have our middle schoolers being able to tell you and describe what a vaporizer is and how to mix the flavors and the nicotine levels, we've got the beginning of another problem. So just be aware our middle schoolers are trying this and they think it's cool. But the last report I heard was that about 43% of kids, high school students currently vaping, have full intention of smoking a burning cigarette probably when they become legal and can do it at age 18. So it is the gateway to other stuff. My movie describes, what some of the items look like, but that vapor is moist chemicals. And, when people are inhaling it deep into their lungs, it's not healthy, but it's getting nicotine addiction to the brain and getting people hooked at young ages. When the brain is really developing, a middle schooler's brain is just in fast mode developing, and you're putting a drug addiction in that process at a young age. So I did bring with me the Vaping Quiz. I have a question for you. Here's one right out of the brochure. The liquid used in vapes can contain which of the following? A, formaldehyde, B, nickel, C, acetylate, which is a chemical used in paint stripper, or D, all of the above? All of the above. Yeah. There is no regulation, stringent regulation on the e-juices that are coming in. So no batch is ever the same in its level of nicotine, in the chemicals that some company chose to put in there. Yeah, you're putting a liquid into an e-pen that's heated by a battery and inhaling chemical vapor. It's not water. It's chemical mixtures with flavorings heated by a battery, inhaled into the lungs. So it's more than just water vapor.
Well, yeah, that's different.
It's a different vaporizer. Yeah. Yeah, the flavors. Liquid nicotine is deadly in its pure form. They put flavorings and moist liquids to enhance the addiction. And kids are inhaling these chemicals. Fewer adults are doing it. The kids, it's all the rage with the kids. And they can pick and choose their flavor combos. It's against the law for the kids to buy e-cigarettes and vaporizers under the age of 18. It is now part of the state tobacco law. That doesn't mean there aren't people out there buying them online, putting in fake birth dates and buying them. So, something to pay attention to. They not only are they vaping nicotine, but they can put dry alcohol in them. They can smoke marijuana out of them. It's very ritualized in some respects. I mean, you've got the basic stick, cigarette, electronic device near the counter at the grocery store or the convenience mart. But then there are these larger e-pens, vaporizers that they can fill and mix themselves. So a lot of the tobacco shops, all these vape stores that are out and blossoming now, they actually have contests on the longest vape out of your mouth at some of those places. So it's like the longest exhale, different contests, yes.
Is there age restrictions on buying those products or no?
18, it should be over 18. But remember, some of the laws took a while to catch up, so that by the time our laws caught up, kids could buy one part of the e-cigarette in a store, but not buy the other part. And now the laws have kind of roped it in. But it saturated our market before the regulations caught up with it. Some of our high school kids, our YRCP kids at Thomas Stone High School and Westlake and North Point, have created some posters to put out in the community This one is they are not telling you a lot about vaping. Vaping produces smoke that can damage your bronchial tubes. Your gums can be damaged from leaking vape liquids. Vaping devices have less filters than cigarettes. And vaping flavors contain chemicals that are not FDA regulated. So our high school kids are putting the concept out there of what it is and what it's all about and how dangerous it can be. So it can be expensive. The batteries only last so long. The equipment, you know, if you want to get something more gaudy, you have to buy up. So it's just the new addiction. And if we want to keep our communities well, then we have to know what's infiltrating our younger populations. Because nicotine addiction is nicotine addiction. So there is information on the back table. My apologies again for not having my movie working tonight. But do you have any questions?
No questions, but thank you for.
I have one quick question for you.
Okay.
Maybe that might be a little bit different off the topic, but I know the problem we used to have when we started in the high school and things, from marijuana to nicotine. From the health perspective, from your point of view, how is that different in terms for parents to make, are they both equally dangerous now? Because in a lot of the states you are seeing this thing, the trend towards legalizing and stuff, but at the same time, are parents getting confused about these e-cigarettes or not? Are they equating with the similar situations or not?
The industry did a good job at putting it out there as being less harmful,
Okay.
but our lungs were made for air and oxygen, not for moist, heavy chemicals with nicotine in them. So I believe that they're both not good. Burning cigarettes cause problems, and we haven't had enough information provided yet. There's not enough time yet to say that what the exact problems are with e-cigarettes. Did
Yep.
that answer your question?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Thanks a lot.
Moving on to presentations, recognitions, resolutions, ordinances, and petitions. No presentations or recognitions. However, we do have a resolution. Annie?
Resolution number 08-01-17, introduced by Mayor and Council. Date introduced August 7th, 2017. Date adopted is tentatively August 7th, 2017, and it would be effective August 7th, 2017. A resolution concerning rezoning Cook Inlet Region Incorporated property for the purpose of granting, subject to certain conditions, the application of Cook Inlet Region Incorporated for the reclassification of a portion of the property known as Parcel 609 on Charles County Tax Map 11, Grid 15, located on the north side of Maryland Route 210 in the town of Indian Head. One moment. Be it resolved by the Council of the Town of Indian Head that the application of Cook Inlet Region Incorporated for the reclassification of all that approximately 7-acre portion of the property known as Parcel 609 on Charles County Tax Map 11, Grid 15, from open space to town center mixed-use zoning classification is granted, and the town zoning map shall be modified to reflect the zoning classification of the entire Parcel 609 as TCMX or town-centered mixed use. The reclassification of Parcel 609 is subject to the following conditions. Number one, based upon a topographic survey of the property, environmental analysis by the applicant, and input from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, all forest areas, streams, and their buffers and steep slopes not proposed for development on Parcel 609 shall be placed in a perpetual conservation easement, the form and content of which shall be subject to approval by town staff and the town attorney. Number two, a natural buffer shall be preserved along the entire common boundary between Parcel 609 and the Navy base during the development of Parcel 609. Number three, the development of Parcel 609 shall comply with the town's reforestation ordinance and any required reforestation to the maximum extent practicable, shall be implemented on land within the town of Indian Head. Number four, development of Parcel 609 shall be undertaken substantially in accordance with Exhibit H to the applicant's application, the community concept plan approved by the Town of Indian Head Planning Commission on August 17th, 2016.
Any questions? Okay.
Seeing no questions, Mr. Mayor, pardon?
The Siri parcel, which we had the public hearings for. Correct.
Any additional questions? Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move we accept the resolution as read.
Second? Oh. All right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed?
All right. Annie, if you could do a roll call vote.
Councilman Smith?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Satula?
No?
Mayor Paulin?
Yes. All right. Moving forward, we have no ordinances, no petitions, no unfinished business, no new business, and on to miscellaneous. Events. Okay. The Village Green Flea Market will be Saturdays, May 13th through October 28th at the Village Green Park. Community Activities Committee will not meet in July or August. Comral meeting will be Tuesday, August 15th at 8 a.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Planning Commission will meet Wednesday, August 16th, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Kids Back to School Fun Night Thursday, August 17th, 6:30 p.m., Village Green Pavilion. Town Council Work Session will be Wednesday, August 23rd, 3:30 p.m. at Town Hall. Parks and Recreation Commission will meet Wednesday, August 23rd, 7 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion, followed by the Environmental Sustainability Committee at 7:30 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Grandparents 55 and older dinner and concert night will be Tuesday, August 24th, 6 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Thursday, August 24th, 6 p.m., Village Green Pavilion. Thank you again, Ryan. Friday Night Lights basketball will be Friday, September 1st, 7 p.m. Indian Head Elementary School outdoor basketball courts, Town Hall Community Affairs, and Public Works will be closed Monday, September 4th. No trash pickup. And the next town meeting will be Tuesday, September 5th, 7:30 p.m. at the Village Green Pavilion. Alrighty. Thanks. Yeah, take a break. All right. I'm moving on to citizens' comments. If you have a comment, please approach the podium, state your name and address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Charles Shuford. I'm a member of the Paris Station homeowners, and I'm here tonight to get an official word from the town on the kids erecting and playing basketball in the middle of the street down in our community. It's causing a real problem. I've sent a couple of emails, and I know you got one today from Colleen Harrison as well. The issue is, of course, safety when cars are coming down the street. Well, the kids slowly move out the way, but they can't move those basketball goals because they're anchored with bricks, and the two down on the end are anchored with propane tanks to keep them from falling over. So we need to get an official word from the town.